Views from the friend zone, it's your time. We giving you real talk, so stay on your grind. We just trying to laugh and have a good time. We dropping the juice so that all our people can shine. Views from the friend zone, it's your time. We giving you real talk, so stay on your grind. We just trying to laugh and have a good time. We dropping the juice so that all our people can shine.
Yeah. Happy Sunday, y'all. Welcome to another edition of Views from the Friend Zone podcast. It's your boy, Real Talk Marv.
It's your boy, Open Shirt Poppy. What up, y'all? We missed y'all. What's up?
Cliff Rock got caught up with work, so he's not going to be able to make it, but the show must go on, you know what I'm saying? So, how you feeling, bro?
Feeling pretty good, bro. Even though the world is falling apart again.
Yeah.
You know, I got to find the bright side of things.
Yeah. You know, everybody stay safe. Corona's spiking up again. Crazier than before. My man Trump is on PTO. He taking personal time off. He not doing no more. He's not speaking about anything about except him getting robbed allegedly from the election. He's not doing his job no more.
If Saul Loser was a person,
it's crazy.
It would be.
Yo, every time I think to myself, like, yo, he can't show more of unprofessionalism than he's done before. He takes it to another level. He's not working no more. He's not doing no public appearances. He's not attending summits that he's supposed to attend as the president. This is my thing. He don't want to give up that he lost, but he's not doing the job no more. How do you get away with that?
He did a fuck you. You're cool. Fuck you. I'm out.
Half baked, right? I love that.
He did one of those.
Yeah, man.
That's Trump for you.
I
can't even get in contact with my Trump supporter friends and families. They wouldn't hide in too.
Really?
Like, I ain't speak to my cousin in a minute.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you know, and I was telling my wife this the other night. It's just like, you know, it's easy to join a crowd that, even though the crowd is wilding out, like the Trump supporters, when it's just like, you know, you have all that energy. But now that you lost, half of the people who was just joining the in crowd are disappearing again. It's like that Homer meme when Homer goes back into the bush. That's what they're doing right now. You know what I'm saying?
But you can't take back all that shit y'all was talking.
Exactly.
You can't take that back. That's why you watch what you say.
My thing is, he's literally telling people, ignore what the election said. We need to overturn this because they're trying to steal it from me. How does that make sense? You literally saying, we did the election process, even though your state chose to vote for Biden, ignore it because I don't believe it should have been that way. How? Yeah. When you beat Hillary by less votes, you say, oh, it was a landslide. Keep that same energy, bro.
It's his fault Donald Jr. got corona. That's what it is. It's his fault.
It's completely madness out here. You know what I'm saying? The crazy thing about it is, it's so much going on that people are completely ignoring what's going on with corona. Like, people are dying again like crazy. Hospitals are being filled up. You know what I'm saying? And people are just, not people, but like, you know, our leadership is just like, we're like, where do we go for leadership and direction? If Trump wants to secure his legacy, this is the last thing I'll take a policy we go on. It's like, yo, I would be like, you know what, I want my last movement or you know, action as president is for me to hurry up and try to get, you know, the vaccine going as smooth as possible.
Do something memorable.
Working with that,
Positive.
working with the transition and stuff like that. You know what? Although I don't agree with the results of the election, it's bigger than me now. But he know jail's waiting for him. He know charges are waiting for him. He know people he owe money is waiting for him. So it's just like that's why he's trying to hold off.
Zebra don't change his stripes. This is who he is. It's hard to then switch up and be somebody different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially when you're successful at being a whatever he is. It's the way it is.
It's crazy.
I'm not surprised.
All right, so let's get into the show. The first topic, we were supposed to have a female guest, but the guest couldn't make it. So I guess me and Mike will just opine on.
You want to talk about the entertainment news first?
Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. Let's do that. So instead of talking about the relationship portion, we'll do the entertainment, and then we'll talk about the hip hop situation, right? So it was a classic versus that happened you know, this was it Wednesday? Or
Yeah,
Thursday?
no, it was
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
And you know, if those who don't know, Gucci Man versus Jeezy, right? And it was a lot of takeaways from that versus, right? Not only was, you know, people beefing, like they had beef, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times rappers got beef because someone said you wasn't that good, or you know, you said I'm the king of the city, I'm the king of the South, etc. But these had beef where it was just like, you know,
People were killed. There was
killed
murders.
Pookie Loke.
Bodies.
It was a Pookie. Yeah, I think Pookie Loke, one of
Jeezy's man.
Jeezy affiliates, Jeezy Man, was killed. Jeezy he didn't put 10K on Gucci's head. He said, "I give anybody 10K who bring me his icy chain." So you can.
That's why Gucci said about the 10,000 on his clothes, 10,000 fit.
Okay.
That
Maybe
probably
he
had
used
it.
that number.
Yeah,
you know,
because I doubt his fit was exactly 10 grand.
Yeah.
but-
So, but and people are saying, oh, or if somebody put money, because I thought Gucci was acting immature. You know, Cliff Rock went on what she would say, he could talk about that. But then it's just like, yo, he said that foolishness about the chain thing, but you know how the streets is. The streets could have took it to take his life, and a lot of people saying he put money on his head. He didn't technically put money on his head, but you know what?
The person who tried to kill Gucci, was he affiliated with Jeezy?
Yeah.
Then he put money on his head. There's no question with that.
Jeezy said that
No
he
question
didn't
with
send
that.
dude on that mission. You know what I'm saying? But
He probably just wanted to do something for him because that's his man. He was like, he wasn't ready for that.
yeah,
I don't think Gucci was acting like ignorant, like, in that instance, because remember, initially Gucci turned down the verses.
yeah.
Something happened where he changed his mind and said, "I'll do it."
I think Clifford told me, Coach P from was it QC Quality Control. That's the label who Migos used to be signed to, Lil Baby signed to, and so you know
He talked
they're
him into doing
independent.
it?
He talked them into doing it. Said it'd be a good look for the culture.
But
So
yeah.
what were your takeaways from that versus?
At first, I was hyped with the way Gucci came out.
Yeah.
We knew he was going to be on his shit, which I feel he has every right to.
He does.
A motherfucker
I wasn't
trying
feeling
to
it,
put
but-
money on your head and his man failed. Even if you killed his man, like, you try to kill me, bro. You try to kill me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be the big man and share the stage with you. I know you salty about what happened to your man,
Yeah,
but you got to take that L, right? You got to take that L.
and what this versus made me realize is I still got growth, because you kill my man, ain't no for the culture and stuff like that. Like I can't get past that. You know what I'm saying? Like
I feel what you're saying, and I feel like the reason why Jeezy was able to do it, because I feel like Jeezy probably understood his faults in that situation.
yeah,
And yeah, it's sad that somebody lost their life, but who knows? He might feel guilty for doing that, or he might just be like, damn, you know, I've grown from that situation. I made a mistake back then. You know what I mean? So I'm going to try to even elevate myself and seek peace with this man.
I
right?
see the growth in it. I just don't think I had that growth in me. But like another thing we got to realize is just like, you know, we don't like you said, we don't know all the intricate details. We know certain things and stuff like that. It could have been
Yeah.
it could have been on some like, yo, Jesus was just like, nah, don't.
Even the DJs had beef. See, that's the thing people don't understand when they doing ignorant stuff. You got to understand, especially when you got a crew of people around you and you influential, you having an issue with somebody, right? And all your peoples know it. You might be like, listen, I ain't going to even sweat it. You know what I mean? But you vent to your peoples and let them know how you feel about dude and whatever. They might just take it upon themselves to say,
Yeah.
all right, I'm going to do this for my
Yeah.
man. You know what I mean?
It
'Cause
be not to
it
be
be
rude.
the
It be the they said it be like the posse or the underlings or the people who trying to prove name for them on the sake of you talking my man. Those are the people who die in those situations. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, because they all trying to prove themselves and their value.
I think one of the bigger things it just made me kind of look at Gucci. I mean, Gucci was mad aggressive, and I get it because allegedly you try to get me killed, so of course I'm gonna be on the energy. But then he's just like, we should do a jewelry versus. I got $5 million worth of jewelry, and Jeezy was just like, yo, we should do a real estate versus.
Yeah,
I own half of Atlanta.
Listen,
to me that just shut it down.
Everything down.
To me that just shut it down.
That's why the dudes on Facebook, y'all know who y'all are, who've been trying to come at me like because y'all talking about Jeezy shouldn't even did the verses with him at all. He might have missed the first time with trying to kill Gucci, but he killed him with that line right there.
Plus, Jeezy music is better.
Fit.
I don't care what anybody say. Jeezy music is just better.
And I think that's another reason why Jeezy wanted to do it. Come on, man. He knew Gucci. He got hits in the street. A lot of stuff people ain't hear if you ain't heavy into hip hop like that or a Gucci fan. So he knew. He's like, I got this. Yeah. He was chilling like, all right, bro, put on the show.
To me, it was kind of like. The reason why, and I'm always looking at the bigger picture, the reason why to me it was even, it made Gucci look even crazier. Like, yo, we in a pandemic where across this country, there's lines at food pantries. Because people just don't have food. Some people haven't been working like that. Some people, I unfortunately, I had lost my job during the pandemic and I was able to get my job back. Some people lost their job, haven't been working since before when the pandemic started because of BS. They couldn't get unemployment. Like, people are hurting.
Or the unemployment come to an end.
Yeah, and then you're talking all this, I got $5 million worth of jewelry. To me, it's just like the timing of it wasn't good. You know what I'm saying?
Gucci always been an ignorant nigga, but
you know what I'm saying? It's just like we should do it. I don't know. And like, I can't pick sides because I don't know either of them, but I definitely was Team Jeezy before it, and then after I was still Team Jeezy because I just felt like Jeezy carried himself like a grown man. Yeah. Even with the disrespect and aggression, Jeezy tried to hold it down.
I wasn't one way or another. I like a lot of Jeezy music, and I like some Gucci music too. I was bopping to Gucci's joint. Then they perform what together?
So Icy, right? That was the joint that caused the whole beginning of the beef and stuff like that. Yeah,
so I mean, I just like the growth and maturity, right? And I feel like from the slack that I got on Facebook with some of the comments and some of the people I know, I'm like, a lot of dudes ain't there yet. They don't understand the bigger picture.
Yeah.
They all about pride and disrespect. And you gotta understand at some point it's bigger than that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can have an issue with somebody.
Yeah.
Even somebody lose their life, right? But years go by, you can't continue on that same path. It ain't gonna get you nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You could talk your shit, whatever. What happened. You can't change the past, but you can change the future, and you can try to build from it instead of continually tearing down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what was so great about the verses. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people didn't even believe that it was possible.
Yeah.
Now they talking 50 Cent Game or 50 Cent Ja Rule.
Yeah.
Y'all
50 and Ja Rule, I would pay to see.
50's a cancer like me. You got to understand. That's going to be a whole different situation.
Yeah. To me,
it won't be nice.
Although it was growth to even have it, I felt like Gucci didn't help it. In my opinion, Gucci didn't really help his brand with the way that he carried himself. He did look good. His outfit was sharp and stuff like that. I just feel like, in this day and age, like, even throwing money, like, what's the name? Rick Ross and 2 Chainz had, like, threw money at strippers. And I just feel like, in this time period that we're going through.
That's actually supporting the economy, though. Those strippers been out of work, man. They need that bread.
I guess.
I'm mad they had the verses at Magic City, and I ain't see one cheek shake. I'm like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
I thought they should have had girls right there in the middle.
Yeah. All right, so you know what? This is a segue to something that's kind of hip-hop. Over 40 years old, when will the violence aspect of the music cease, right? And we're talking about how, Gucci Mane and Jeezy, someone died from their beef. And, and I just feel like, the growth that they showed to be able to have it is one thing. But hip-hop, we still have a huge violence issue. Like, just think of in the last 2 years. We're even going to talk about the last month, but the last 2 years, with the Nipseys and the Pop Smokes and the it's been made more than 2 years with Triple X Extension, but like just the depth that we're seeing in hip hop, and I just feel like before the excuse was hip hop was a young genre of young kids who didn't have nothing, but I just feel like when is the music? When are we gonna grow up as far as the music form? Because in the last month, 3 rappers have been killed.
Well, I mean, the question when we gonna grow up?
Yeah, when will we? Because it's music. I know hip hop is a lifestyle. It's music. It's a reflection of like what's going on. But like, when will we be able to separate? The violence aspect of it, imitating. Life imitating the art.
I'm gonna tell you the problem, and I realized this by seeing. I don't know if you guys out there have ever seen it. I know you probably seen it, Mark, because I probably sent it to you. Where, what was it, Bone Thugs, or one of them? They was talking in an interview about a meeting that took place, right? It's a meeting that took place of executives, very powerful people, right? And this was before hip-hop really popped.
Yeah.
This is probably like late 80s, early 90s. This meeting took place. Because hip-hop, I don't know if a lot of y'all don't remember, if you were of a certain age, hip-hop started out on some real positivity type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? It was, you spoke about the struggles in your neighborhood and your upcoming, your upbringing rather, but you didn't talk about killing the next man, or you didn't glorify the hustling you had to do. If you had to do it, you did it, you said it.
I
you
think
didn't glorify
NWA
it.
made it on
The switch?
on that switch.
But this is what happened. That meeting that took place of those powerful and influential people basically said, we're going to now support this type of rhetoric in hip-hop because we see the success that it can have. We're going to support that drug dealer, murderous, kill your fellow brother to get ahead, money, money, money. That's what they're going to support. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to flood the market with that, right? And it goes even deeper than hip-hop because they was like, the influence that hip-hop has and the people that follow it are going to flock to that, and they're going to try to live that, and where it's going to end them? In jail. So now we can help increase the population in jail, increase the money that you get from prisons, right? It's all tied in together. That's what he talked about. And he said there were certain people in that meeting who declined to take part in that, right? If you decline, you was just told you got to leave. But even before the discussion took place, you had to sign paperwork, waiver, said you can't discuss what take place in this meeting and stuff like that. So it's deeper than that, right? There's a reason why, because a lot of honestly, bro, a lot of this stuff is trash. A lot of this music is garbage. But if it's promoting a certain way of life, right, it gets shine. It's only within the last 6 months to a year when we've been on our protesting behavior that certain records is actually getting shine. Certain positive records is getting shine, right? Because it fits the climate.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But I don't think as long as there's money being pumped into this, as long as guys know they can profit from talking that talk,
Yeah.
it ain't gonna change.
It's tough. So, the topic is hip-hop is over 40 years old. When will the violence aspect of music cease? King Von, Mo 3, of course we mentioned Pop Smoke. Lil
Boosie got
shot. Benny the Butcher got shot in the parking lot, I think this week. Another rapper, So, I get it, right? Because, and I know I'm being tongue-in-cheek when I say this, I love, science fiction. I love, comic books and stuff like that, and I never, leave these movies feeling like, yo, I'm Iron Man. I'm going to go try to be Iron Man, or I'm going to go really try to be Black Panther in the street. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it's just like, why, what about hip-hop music makes it so much that these kids feel like, yo, they have to imitate the artistry, right? Because there's other popular music. There's, there's country, there's pop and things like that. That has influenced a lot with the way we dress, the way we carry ourselves. But it doesn't result in such violence.
Well, I think of it like this, and I was on the same line. I'm like, yo, they always coming at hip hop, but you got these movies out here that's so violent, and they promote all this killing and stuff like that, but they ain't talking about that. The thing about it with music, think about it. Before a boxer comes out to the ring, he plays the music, right? That music is like motivation. Mm-hmm. It's an energy. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. When you listen, when you feel a certain vibe or you want to get into a certain feeling, you listen to a certain type of song. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Even when people work out in the gym, they want to get pumped, so they listen to a certain type of music. It's an energy, right? Yeah. That energy can then influence behaviors. Yeah. Right? Especially now you got radio play, same songs playing every day, all day on the radio. Yeah. Right? That repetitiveness, it sinks in your subconscious. That's why people say the power of words. If you repeat positivity and positive things, you ultimately will start to do those things. Yeah. Music is the same, man. Music is the same.
It's tough, right? Because, I work in the corporate environment, but at the same time, I love trap music. You know what I'm saying? Like, I even used to rap, not trap music, but I used to rap a violent type of genre of music. And then I got to a certain age, and I just realized, like, yo, I couldn't really pursue it the way I wanted to, because I'm like, yo, this is not my lifestyle. So even though I love the music, I can't see myself getting older and pushing this kind of thing. I'm not sitting there saying, like, there's not a place for the music. I'd be a hypocrite. I love hip-hop. I'm still going to love hip-hop. But it's just like, these people, like, they escape the travesties of the hood and then try so hard to, like,
promote
like,
it.
I gotta live this certain life, even though I escaped it. Like, to me, what you're supposed to get from the trap music and things of that nature is like, yo, is the hustle and grind. Like, use that to push you to, like, accomplish things. I don't think it's literal that people need to go and perpetuate the violence.
Not many rappers have learned to switch it up once they become successful and they no longer in that impoverished situation. Mm-hmm. You got money, your life is different. Not many have learned to now expand their speech, right? To now talk about how your life has changed, how to still be that same level of rapper and have this same level of fan base, but now you're talking about something completely different than when you first came out. But it makes sense because your life has changed. Jay, maybe a Nas, some others, they switched up. Mm-hmm. You can tell if you listen to their music how their life changed, album to album to album. You can clearly hear it. And to go back to your first part, like my son calling right now, I was just going to talk about that. When it really hit me is when I hear my kids listening to the music and they rhyming, they know words and stuff like that, especially my sons who are younger. And I'm like, they don't really know what they're talking about. But I was like, I got to have a talk with them so they understand, you know what I mean? This is not really what you should be promoting. Yeah. I understand. I can't knock you for liking the music. I listen to the music too. Yeah. But you got to understand that this is not something that you aspire to. This is somebody's reality or past that they're speaking about. Yeah. You see what I mean? That's all it is. But people get caught up in it. They don't realize that.
I don't know. It just obviously it's been happening, often in hip hop. To me, it's just like, man, it's like you would think like, yo, it's 2020. We've had hip hop since late 70s, early 80s. You know what I'm saying? It really hit its commercial appeal the late 80s. But Hip Hop Delight, some of those records, it's been around for so long, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, yo, Mo 3, the rapper in Dallas, someone chased after him. He had a car accident. He ran out of the car, and they still chased him and shot him in the head, like execution style. And it's just like, I know sometimes these people are, they still don't have it. There's other rapper, Duck something, who got killed a couple of months back. Something Duck. Cliff was here, he would give more. And it's just, to me, it's just like, yo, it's like the violence aspect of it. Like, yo, the crazy thing about it is outside outside hasn't really been open like it used to because of the whole pandemic. And rappers are still out here getting shot and killed. You know what I'm saying? Like, people, we're not even supposed to be outside like that, you know? And it's just like, how do we elevate past that, right? Because the music is a reflection of what's going on, but at the same time, it's sort of like, yo, like, we have to be able to, like, move past just, you know, imitating the violence of the music.
Rap has taken a hit. The genre has taken a hit because of what's going on in these situations. But honestly, it has nothing to do with rap itself. It's these dudes who, some of them are phony. They're not real and stuff that they spit. But there are a lot of dudes who rap. They came into the game straight from the street, and they was involved in real street shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So now they got a platform, and they still on their real street shit.
Yeah.
And that shit just catches up with them. You know what I'm saying? If they never became a rapper, they possibly would have saw the same fate. Yeah. But we wouldn't know about it or care about it because we wouldn't know who they are.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So that's just what happens. I mean, but it all goes back to that meeting. I'm telling you, man. And unless we, the extra rich and famous rappers and those in those corporate positions decide to go another route and stop only trying to promote that type of life,
yeah,
you know, finding talented rappers who actually, you know, can spit, like, you know, and not about all of that, like our J. Cole's,
yeah,
you know, even Kendrick says crazy shit, but he's not promoting that whole thing. Like, those type of people who can still be dope rappers and make money selling records and what have you, and don't have to talk about just all that nonsense. Until that becomes a priority, it's going to be more the same, man.
I mean, you know what really bothered me about it? And I'm not even holding it in thought. Like I said, I'm a hip-hop head, true and true. And I'm not one of those, even though, you know, I'm closer to 40 than 30, I'm not one of those people who feel like, oh, you know, hip-hop's changed. No, hip-hop has always had violence to it, you know what I'm saying? But to me, it's just like, I'm really trying to understand, like, how do we move past it? Because it's like, yo, these kids are losing their lives. King Von was like 23, 24 years old. Like, these kids are babies losing their lives over what? Like, there's, for some reason, you know, pop, you know, rock and roll, you listen to the lyrics, they say some crazy stuff. But it still doesn't, the people don't go out and like, oh, he said, let the bodies hit the floor, so I'm going to go out and make the bodies hit the floor.
Because those who are doing that in rock and pop, you know that they're not actually doing that, right? When you listen to these rappers talk, sometimes you're like, is he really that gangster?
Yeah.
Or is he not? You're not sure. You know what I'm saying?
There's this,
so it's
I
like,
have to keep it real aspect of hip-hop that, you know what I mean? Like, that to me is just like, I don't know. We have this real crab in the barrel, keep each other down mentality in hip-hop that we need to get past, right? Because people go around, oh, he's not really like that. If he like that, he got to prove it to me. Like, yo, why can't people just get money, enjoy themselves, have a good time?
yeah.
You know, and it's tough, right? Because I look to, the biggest thing that I take away from hip-hop is the escape. It's the escape of my regular life. You listen to music, you want to get motivated, push it. And that's why I said, like, Lil Baby's young. He's in his 20s and stuff like that. I'm much older than him, but I get motivated by some of the things he's saying because he talks about, like, you know, leaving that life and trying to build and trying. And I just don't get. It's not that I don't get. I just feel like, you know, when are we gonna make it cool to just not be all about the violence and keeping it real and like, to me, it's just like we out here trying to prove a point to who? Yeah. Especially once you escaped all that. You ever sit down with someone who did real time, you know, really got bodies under their belt, did that full-time life in jail? They live, they cool. They'd
Yeah.
be like, yeah, yo, I'm done with all that. That ain't get me nowhere.
They realize
It's these kids who never really lived the life that they live in, dying to prove something to who?
Or they just see it as, this is my meal ticket. Just look at the biggest rat ever, Tekashi 6ix9ine. He's one of those phony ones. He's one of those phony ones that promoted that, right?
And
promoted it and
ate so
ate
well
heavy.
off of it.
Still eating off of that. He's a
has
phony.
2 documentaries out.
And the bad part about it is, pretty much everybody knows he's a phony,
Yeah. So,
and he's still able to succeed off of
I'm
it.
gonna keep it a buck
It's
with you.
amazing.
When I was younger, I cared about that, but now it's just like, you know, and this is no disrespect, he's still one of my favorite artists. With the whole Rick Ross being a CEO and stuff like that, I was like, yo, is the music still hot? I kept it moving. I guess maybe I was mature at the time, was just like, yo, Rick Ross is still one of my favorite rappers because I love his delivery. I love how he controls the track, things, the persona. You know, auto persona comes with some of that. Like I said, people who are really into the streets and stuff like that, they're usually like, yo, I'm past that. They're calm and cool. It's these hotheads who got something to prove. Look at even though his music is still violent, look at the kid from Brooklyn, Casanova. Cass is a real street dude, really did time and stuff like that. You know, when Tekashi was coming at him, he kind of laughed to push it off because he knew his hands is real. He knew but he's just like, yo, what am I proving to someone who's not really about that life?
Yeah, it's a
You know
waste
what
of
I'm
my
saying?
time, bro. It's a waste of my
But
time.
it's these kids who feel like they got something to prove. I mean, it's tough, right? Because it's just like, yo, as black people, we have so much going against us outside of our community. And I just feel like we're living a way sometimes in hip hop that's inviting extra violence.
So think about it like this. You tell me how you feel about this, because I think this is just an example of we're taking what they give us, right?
Yeah.
They gave us the avenue to become wealthy, support our family, feed our kids, right? And it involves kind of selling out the community by promoting negativity and violence or whatever, right? What would you do in that situation? You gonna have to pass on it?
Nah, don't get it twisted. You know, even in the corporate world, what other aspect you want to put it into, sometimes you do certain things in the beginning during your ascension that you're not proud of. In the corporate world, sometimes you gotta laugh at jokes that's not that funny, or sometimes you hear something that has a racial undertone to it, and you as a minority, you have to kind of be like, do I jump on this? Do I kind of just watch how I move? So sometimes you kind of.
But is it affecting others? Right? Is it influencing the children? That's not.
Well,
that's something you have to deal with internally.
Yeah,
You're like,
I say that to say this.
You know?
Once you reach a certain aspect, and you know, like to me, it's just like I get it. You know, certain people, certain artists who's just like they're not established yet. They're still trying to establish themselves. I understand when they don't take those chances, but we kind of need the statesmen in hip hop. You know, the Jay-Z's, the Pharrells, the Swiss Beats, you know, the Jeezys now. You know, we need those people to be like, yo, and they've been doing that. We need more of those people to make it cool, to be like, yo, we gotta move past the violence and really just starting to establish ourselves, because who are we leaving this money to? You know what I'm saying? Who would, like, we hustle hard for all of these you know, just to have wealth or to have jewelry and stuff. Like, to me, it hurts me now more than before when I think of Pop Smoke. You know what I'm saying? The kid was 20 years old, ascending. Music was fire. You listen to the radio now, mad hits of Pop Smoke is playing. Like, he didn't even get to really eat off of that. You know what I'm saying? And I say that to say it's just
but
like,
Pop Smoke is an example of what you're not wanting as far as his music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As far as his lifestyle, he was really in the streets. You know what I mean? So, and the crazy part is, that had nothing to do with him really being in the streets. He I guess he kind of tried to leave that lifestyle by going out to L.A. But let me tell you, to any rapper out there, if you from the East Coast, nothing good ever happens to any rapper that goes out west. Don't do it. Nothing good. Hollywood Hills and all that, you're not safe out there. Please.
That was a
That's
bad
dumb.
slip up.
You better off staying at home.
I don't know. I just feel like we need more of our elder statesmen to take people to the side and be like, it's funny because Jay-Z had did an interview a while back and he was just like, you know, when Biggie was starting to bubble, Biggie, he was chilling with Biggie one time and they was about to go to a club and Biggie saw some characters that wasn't savory, and at the time Biggie was one of the biggest artists. Biggie was like, nah, I ain't messing with that. And Jay-Z was just like, come on, you ain't scared. You know, we from Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy, all that, you know what I'm saying? Bro? Like, yo, let's just go in there, F them and stuff like that. And then when Jay-Z got bigger, he realized like, yo, it ain't about being scared, it's about inviting certain energies and knowing it's not worth it, right? Because it's just like, yo, when you at a certain peak, it's nothing for somebody who don't have nothing to take you out and stuff like that.
And Big was a great example of how you don't always need to fight every battle, right?
Yeah.
When he was dealing with the beef with Pac, though Big's music was about that hardcore, I'm a G, I'm a thug, da 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 da. He said, you know what? I'm not gonna entertain this because he knew Pac was doing that for shock value and to get more money. He wanted there to be a back and forth.
Yeah.
But he was like, nah, I'm not going to play into that.
Yeah.
It's not beneficial to me. You know what I mean? And it makes no sense. I guess he probably felt like, yo, you was my man at one time.
Yeah.
I can't even do this because it's mad phony.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, unfortunately, he still got hit because the others.
Yeah.
The people who.
The backlash
You know what
of
I'm
it and
saying?
the other people trying to. My thing is just like, you know, this is the last question on the topic, then we can move on. Am I expecting too much of the hip-hop? I don't want to say pioneers because we're past the pioneers time. But the elder statesmen in hip-hop to like mentor these kids, pull these kids to the side. Is it just not their business because everybody's like their own brand kind of thing? Like, what do you think?
Who was it? I think it was 2 Chainz. I was listening to an interview he had. I don't know if it was on a Breakfast Club or what, but he was talking about, he got asked a question, like, what does he say when he's around these newer artists, these young artists? You know what I mean? Like, what jewels is he dropping on them?
Mm-hmm.
So they might learn something and see things different because of all the murders and stuff that's been happening. And 2 Chainz talked about, what's the little wild boy from Florida?
Kodak Black?
Kodak Black. He said Kodak Black was at his crib one time, you know what I mean, and they would chop it up, and he was just like, he ain't really try to drop knowledge on him or whatever, but he said he just spoke to him and listened to what he had to say about different things, and every now and again he would, you know, give him a little jewel or whatever, but you can't really, you got to be careful at how you talk to these dudes anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they think they know it all. And they're like, what they going to say? Oh, well, when you came in, you know what I'm saying? You was on that same type of stuff I'm on now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm just getting started. I'm not at your level yet. So you just got to be like, you know, I hear what you're saying. Get your money, you know, but don't let the money influence who you are as a person. Be real with yourself at all times.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. A lot of these dudes, they're not real with themselves. They're not real with themselves. And sometimes it end up being too late.
Yeah, I don't know. I just, like, I don't want to sound like a broken record. I just feel like, you know, we've had too many examples set for us on what not to do when it comes to the hip-hop thing. Like, we got to learn from it. Like, if we're not, as a genre and as a music, learning from the mistakes, like, you know, the Biggies, the Pacs, like, you know, how many more T-shirts, how many more examples do we need for us to be like, yo, I got to move different. You know what I'm saying?
Did you hear what Meek tried to do?
No.
Supposedly, I heard that he hit up the dudes in his city out there in Philly or whatever, and was like, yo, I'll put y'all on. You know what I'm saying? I'll put the hot dudes on from the city if y'all stop beefing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, somebody came out him like, yo, you were supposed to put us on anyway, or why you ain't put us on already. Nobody, motherfuckers ain't never happy. They ain't never
That's
happy.
one thing. That's one thing about people sometimes that really get to me. Is just like, yo, I can't save everybody. I'm just trying to live my life. I'm trying to do something. People always feel like, oh, you're supposed to. That's why, to be honest with you, I know it sounds crazy. I never played the lotto to try to win that 350 million and stuff like that. Because to me, it's going to invite headaches that I don't want to have. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind to get enough to do, like, yo, I pay off my debt. I don't got no mortgage. I'm good. That's what I want to be good. Like, all that crazy money, the expectations and stuff like that, it's just like, yo, you give your man, let's say you give your man $250,000, like, yo, this is going to pay off well. You got stuff like that, make you good and stuff like that. See if you can do something with it. Your man going to be like, yo, you gave me $250,000 and you got 300 million. That's nothing. My G. When we was both broke, we never gave each other ish. You know what I'm saying? But it's
that's
tough.
not. I'm different. I want all that money, right? Because it's not about me giving. I'm not giving you nothing.
It's
I'm
about
not
creating
going
opportunities.
Exactly. I'm not going to lead you to water and tell you to go fish. I'm going to teach you how to fish.
Yeah.
So I want to provide you an opportunity to now make more money.
Yeah.
If you just want me to give you money, I can't do it. But I can front you something and have you start your own, get you started.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's what you got to
It's
do.
tough. This hip hop thing breaking my heart. Let's move on to the next topic. Do men and women still want the same things out of relationships? It would have worked better if we had a woman here, but let's talk about it, because I was on a post. I love partaking in Facebook posts, especially groups where it's just like, not everybody in the group's my friend. It's people from all different aspects and stuff like that, just to get people
Bend the
feedback.
trend. I like that group.
Yeah. But so a post had said, ladies, can your baby father still hit? And 90% of them was like, hell no, he couldn't touch me, just that. And I'm thinking,
Lies.
but I'm thinking to myself, like, yo,
Lies.
it's like, I had to, you always got to sit on the fence, right? And you got to be devil's advocate and look at both sides, right? Because it's easy as a man for me to say, oh, they just bitter. That's low-hanging fruit to say that. But another thing I also have to say is like, yo, are all these men really that great at fooling these women into just getting them to sleep with them? Or some of these women are ignoring certain signs or chasing after certain men, and then, when they don't get what they wanted, they start to feel a kind of way. So I want to have a deeper conversation about that. Obviously, we don't have a woman on the panel, it's just us. But let's just talk about that. So, do men and women still want the same things out of relationships? And sub-question is, men and women seem to want different things out of relationships. Why do you think that is, right? Because I always say that now, like, I've been married 11 years, that if me and my wife, don't work out, I'm not rushing to be in a relationship again. I'm not rushing back. Some people are like, oh, they got to quickly get a wife again. I'm like, no, I really got to figure myself out afterwards to figure out what I want to do next. Yeah. But, like, do you think men and women still want the same thing out of relationships?
I don't think men and women ever want the same thing out the relationship. Yeah. I think they want similar things. I think it's like, especially when you dating and just starting out, we kind of have a similar goal, but we have different paths we want to take to get there. Yeah. Right? So a man's path may be, okay, I want to see how she is in bed. Mm-hmm. Then I want to see how she is to get along with and what she does as a the domestic side of things, right? While a woman says, first I want to see how maybe gentlemanlike he can be. Yeah. Can he be a provider? Yeah. Then I want to see how he is in bed. Yeah. And then we reach that point. Okay, let's go from here, and let's build together. But that's what I think. Like I said, we wish we had a lady in here to give a better perspective. But I don't think like men and women really want the same things to start. Ultimately, yes. Mm-hmm. Ultimately, everybody wants to be with somebody who makes them happy, has their back, right? They can depend on. That's what you want. Mm-hmm. Somebody you can laugh with, go through life crying, supporting, just have somebody who you really can rely on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what everybody wants, both men and women. So we all looking for that aspect in a spouse, but like I said, we take different paths to get to that point.
Yeah, I'm starting to realize, like, you get older, you start to realize, like, you really want peace and happiness in your life, right? When you're younger, it's just about the conquest, right? It's just about, damn, shorty's sexy. I wonder how it is to sleep with her and things of that nature. And then you kind of realize, like, yo, sex is out there regardless. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether you in a relationship or not, whether you look good or not, like, I'm not going to say it's easy to get sex, but it's easy to get sex. You know what I'm saying? So as you get older, you start to realize, like, yo, I want someone that I could really, enjoy myself, be myself with. And the problem is, I just feel like, because when you're younger, you realize you gotta fool women, make every woman think you're a gentleman and things of that nature and stuff like that. And then as you get a little older,
Some of us are actually gentlemen.
Yeah, but
You say you gotta fool women.
No, but it's okay, let me better make my point. It's sometimes people feel like you got to put a representative out there, get them comfortable with things of that nature. Women, as you get older, you realize women like sex as much as men like sex, right? So it's sort of like, if you up front, you tell a woman, oh, you know what, I wanna get to know you on a good time. I'm not sure if I want to be in a long-term relationship right now, but we'll see. Let's figure it out. Maybe we're compatible for it. Maybe we're not. But let's enjoy each other's company. You're gonna scare off some women, but a lot of women just be like, yo, he kept it a buck with me. And then you progress. I think when you're younger, you feel like you have to cast this net to catch so many fish, right? Because it's a numbers game. When you get older, you kind of feel like, yo, you vet out who you want to spend time with, who you don't want to waste time with, and stuff like that. Sometimes when you get older, you realize, like, some conquest is not worth it. Yep. Some, like, I know I could get the draws, but the backlash or the pain that's going to come from it, the maybe she becomes a stalker, or, just the other energy, you like, nah, it's not worth it, I'm good, Not to say that all conquests are the same, but it's just like, you know what, I've been with enough women to know, like, you know what, I want to be able to enjoy myself or not. I think we're still at this standstill where it's just like men and women don't know how to be honest with each other. If a woman tells a dude, like, yo, really, I'm really looking for something serious, I'm not really, looking to, just be casual and things of that nature, men are going to be like, oh, we could still be friends and stuff like that. But if you make that point be known, a mature man is going to be like, you know what, let me move on because this is not the vibe. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. I just feel like we bait and switch each other. Men do it, women do it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes women paint this, I'm so freaky, stuff like that, and then a dude gets pulled into it. Yeah. And then it's just like, okay,
what happened to that person? Where's that person?
Now it's just like, oh, you serious all the time? But it's like, yo, we were just talking that freaky shit, sending each other crazy memes. You know what I'm saying? I feel like women, a lot of times act like men are the only ones doing the bait and switch, but I feel like it's both. You know what I'm saying?
I think women been doing the bait and switch much longer. We both do it, but women do stuff on another level, and they always playing the victim. They do similar stuff to us. They just do it on another level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we don't really call them out the same way because we like, yo, did you really pull that move?
Yeah.
Like, they do stuff, we do stuff to get the draws. They do stuff to get a ring. You get caught up in a whole marriage and you're like, how did I get here? Because this
I always talk about that. The chase of the ring. You know
all we do is be like, yeah, I smashed. You know what I mean? She'd be like, oh, I gave him the drawers. I can't believe I did. We'd be like, I gave her a ring. That's my wife now. I don't even like her. So they do stuff on a different level.
So, like, back to, the point I was making, like, like I said, I saw a recent post, 85% of women who responded saying their baby daddy can never sleep with them again. What are your thoughts on why so many people become bitter exes?
I think
because
it falls to...
Speaking from you, me knowing you, right?
I can speak from experience, yes.
Not only that, to be honest with you, I feel like all of your exes you can still sleep with if you put effort into.
Yes, you got to put effort, right?
You know, but
Yeah.
and not everything worked out well for you. Not, but you know what I'm saying. But I still feel like the women don't. Whether you guys worked out or not, the women don't hate you like that.
I believe, to answer the initial question, first of all, there's a lot of liars in that,
Yeah.
right? And the reason why they are so upset is because, especially somebody you had a child with,
Yeah.
right? When a woman has a child with a man, they got that whole thing planned out. Like, they seeing a whole future
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah.
And when it doesn't work out, it just becomes like, it goes from love to hate.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not real hate. It's just disappointment. It was like, I thought we was here. I thought we could do this. I wanted so much, you know what I mean, for you, for my child. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like they're so disappointed. They don't necessarily know how to transfer that energy properly, so it just becomes, oh, I hate that mother. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He did this. I hate him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just didn't work out, right?
Yeah.
He might not have been as bad as you're saying. It just didn't work out.
You obviously, when you're on such a public forum as social media, you can't ask that follow-up question. But a follow-up question I want to be like, how many of these people who are bitter, I don't want to use bitter, but had bad, rapport or relationships with their child father, right, or their child mother, put it both instances. How many of those situations, percentage-wise, did you guys both agree that you wanted the child, and then it became this way? How many of it was just like, you know what, it was a hesitance, like, yo, I'm not ready to be a father, let's not do this kind of thing, and you was like, no, I want to keep this kid, and then you expected that fact that you said, I want to keep this kid, that he would come around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that's the aspect, people be like, oh, no, if you're man enough, I hate this saying, if you're man enough to lay in the bed with someone, you should be man enough to be a father, things of that nature. I get it. This day and age, everybody's responsible. You know what I'm saying? You got to wrap it up and things of that nature. But at the same time, it blows my mind when women, like dude said, before y'all started messing around, I'm not ready, I don't want to have kids right now, I just want to have fun. Mm-hmm. Sometimes women like, oh, I'm on the pill. Not to say it's all the time. You should wear condoms, things of that nature. Things happen, and then they're just like, yo, I'm not in that space to be a father. Let's not do this and thing. And you're like, no, I want to do it, things of that nature. And then they're shocked that this person is not the great provider or great baby daddy. And it's just like where's the accountability on both ends? He should be held accountable because he put half on that life. But how many women are saying, I'm going to do this without you, and then on the soapbox saying how this dude ain't shit afterwards? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to understand, you invited your kid into an unideal situation.
They only make themselves look bad, too, when they talk bad. Like, I try my best, and usually I'm good at it. I don't try to talk bad about the women, too, who I've had children with.
Yeah.
Right? Because I feel like it reflects poorly on me.
Yeah.
Right?
It's your choices too. That's what women don't understand.
To have this, especially if you got more than one with them. You chose to have a child with this person.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You weren't clearly really knowing of who you were sleeping with.
Yeah.
Okay? Because if you're going to talk bad about them in that fashion, you should have been smarter.
Mm-hmm.
To not fall into the trap.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody who's talking all bad and and I understand relationships change after a child comes into it. It definitely changes more times than not.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now there's some minimal changes and then there's some significant changes.
Yeah.
So that does factor in, and you don't know what that person's going to change into once a child comes into play. But ultimately you have to do your best, and knowing the person that you're dealing with and you're sleeping with before having a child with them.
Yeah.
And then if it doesn't work out, it don't work out.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you get done dirty, it's something they cheat on you, whatever. Don't hold on to that bitterness. That's their fault. That's their bad. They're missing out.
And on a very, I'm gonna sound immature basis, like some of the women who I see who are saying, oh, he fooled me, he was one way, before and then after he, had sex with me other. Sometimes I look at them and I'm like, I don't really think that's 100% the truth. I think sometimes it's just like, yo, you were told the truth and you felt, you know what, once I give him some, he's gonna change his mind.
I would ask them this.
You know what I'm
Miss,
saying?
you was one way before I made you come. And then after you came, you became a much nicer person.
I don't know.
That's what I would say.
No, but
so don't give me that bullshit.
because my thing about it is like some of these women are intelligent. Some of these women got their life going together, and then they just say these bad things about their relationships, and I'm just like, how much self inventory do people take, right? Where they realize like, yo, you saw like, because I always think about it, right, and that's why the Views from the Friend Zone kind of thing, being in the friend zone, gave me perspective, because I always watch women say certain things about men, and I'm just like, I watched you play that situation out. You knew the vibe he was on. We talked about it. We felt that energy, and then he goes and he doesn't become the person you want, and then now you're shock faced.
Women love to play the victim.
And I'm just like,
I swear.
I'm like, he didn't fool you. He told you what it was, like DMX, what these chicks want from him. You really was feeling that vibe. You felt that once you gave him some, it was gonna change the game, and it didn't. And then you're shocked after the word.
Heads up, ladies. You are not the only one with a vagina. Your vagina may be great. It's not the best in the world. Just realize that. It does not cure cancer. It will not have a dude change who he is unless he's a weak dude. And we know y'all don't want no weak dudes. So it's got to be more than that. I'm just telling y'all. Get off the soapbox now.
That's Open Shirt Poppy's. So I just like I said, I wish there was a woman here to give more of a opinion or perspective of that. I just don't think, if we're being honest with ourselves, that people are being lied to as much as they're saying they are, right? Like I feel like it's but so much charming you can do to completely be a completely different person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like sex is not going to be the reason why somebody stays. Sex is a great benefit of a relationship. It's a great reward. But no one stays because of just sex. Some people tolerate stuff more than others because of good sex. But at the end of the day, it's just like, yo, you really want to enjoy being with the person. You want a good vibe. You want to be able to feel like they can hold you down and you could grow with that person. I know it sounds like, oh, that sounds good. It's not the truth. Like, yo, if you and a dude was really good and then y'all just became not really good, something changed and you're not acknowledging on his end or your end that something changed.
You know what happens though, bro? Like I was saying earlier, the act that takes place is not what really causes the anger. It's the, what is it, the word? Disappointment, right? And I think it happens both with men and women, right? When the person you love or person you are growing to have feelings for and are starting to plan for you as far as being with them and what y'all could become, right? When they disappoint you and you realize those plans that you had are not going to come to fruition,
Yeah.
and then not the person that you thought you could build with, and that's what it hurts, because you feel stupid. You're disappointed and you feel stupid, and you're upset because that fairy tale that you was holding on to and those ideas you had of what y'all was going to do, they're gone.
Yeah.
It's gone.
I think, to sum this up before we go to the last topic, I think men and women approach relationships with ideals versus actualities, and then we get disappointed because what we considered our ideal didn't happen. I do think people can be one way and then switch up the game, but at the same time, it's kind of sort of like, yo, after you spend enough time with a person, I don't care how great of an actor you are, certain truths come to the surface. Do we embrace those truths that come to the surface? Do we feel like, yo, I'm just going to ignore it? I'm just going to hope that things change? No. Especially in my day and age, like, yo, someone being sexy, you know, chasing good sex and things of that nature, like, yo, that's not even on the top of my priority. Like, are we cool? Can we vibe? Can I talk to you? Can we chill? You know what I'm saying? Like, can we build upon something? Can you be my escape from all the bullshit I gotta face on a day-to-day basis?
If you
That's
just
what's
want to
important to me.
smash, there's sites for that. There's whole websites dedicated to, listen, I don't even have to tell you what it is. You know, we met on this site. This
Tinder,
is what it's
swipe
about.
left, swipe right. I don't know.
That's what
I don't know
I'm
how
saying.
Tinder works. I don't know if you
I'm
swipe
not saying
left.
you can't find a relationship from that, but ultimately, a person can't feel like you're deceiving them when we met on the site that's known for hooking up
When
and
I think
fucking.
about those things, it makes
know
me
what I
feel
mean?
so old because I've been in my
Tinder,
relationship
Bumble,
when Facebook
Plenty
when
of
Facebook
Fish,
was
remember?
just starting and Plenty of Fishes. So I don't even know what people are really using. I know Tinder's something they talk about. You swipe left or swipe right or whatever kind of stuff like that. But like, yo, to be honest with you, it's just like, yo, people don't really have time. Like women who feel like a man to tell you a lie and keep it like, yo, this day and age, dudes don't even have to take women out to sleep with them. People are doing Netflix and chills and whatever and stuff like that. People are doing bare minimum. So you gotta really be vetting who you want to spend your time with, right? Because dudes don't even put that effort in. Back in the days, dudes do that whining and dining for a while to get. Dudes ain't doing that no more.
Nope.
When was the last time you whined and dined for a long time to get new drawers?
You're not asking me. I'm Mr. Wine and Dine.
Okay.
That's all I know.
Okay.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
a lot of
I'm
dudes
Mr.
aren't.
Wine and Dine.
A lot of dudes aren't. You know what I'm saying? So ladies, I'm just gonna leave on that aspect. Like, yo, you know, obviously men and women want different things from relationships, but at the same time, we really gotta understand the people that we're investing time and energy with. Like, to be honest with you, dudes ain't out here fooling people like they was back in the days. Like, the effort's not being put forth. You know what I'm saying? So if you holding dudes to a certain standard and putting a certain energy like that, you're going to eventually get to the bottom of who he really is. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's not back in the days, the old school where a dude would have a whole different family from another side of town and fool you and stuff like that. Like, dudes ain't putting that effort into it. Dudes are letting you know who they are and whether you accept it or not. You know what I'm saying? Let's move on to the last topic. Last topic is the promise of 2021. So we have a new president, but the same COVID virus. Will 2021 be the same-ish new year?
Bro, I can only say I really, 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 really hope it won't. But I can't call it.
No 1 year has changed my whole perspective on life more than 2020 has. 2020 has changed my personality. It has changed my social habits. It's changed like my aspirations and stuff like that. Like
Everything, right?
everything.
Yeah. 2021 can't be as bad. It can only get better from here. Let me not go
Yo,
with
there
that.
was this
Right?
TikTok I
But-
saw that sums it up. And it's God and an angel. And God goes to the angel who does his bidding and goes, so, did you write down all the things that I want to happen for the 2020s? And the angel goes, yeah, everything that should have happened in 2020, I made happen. He said, no, for the 2020s. And the angel goes, oh, you said 2020s. Like making all the bullshit happen, they push it 1 year instead of a decade. And I say to myself, 2020 just been so much pressure. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, it's crazy to me. Like,
We got to get a relief.
dudes, a dude I was, you know, God bless the dead, a dude I had hung out with from like a Pokemon. I'm a blurred, a black nerd, so Pokemon Go, stuff like that.
Blurred.
We was hanging out. This was like October of last year and stuff like that. And young dude was engaged to be married, was moving to the West Coast, all stuff like that. Caught COVID and died. Didn't get to get married. left a young daughter behind, left a fiance. And I say that to say this. It's just like, yo, you have so many plans and then life could just come and change everything forever. 2020 to me is just like, yo, I'm hoping 2021 is better. But it's just like, what if it gets worse? I can't sit there and tell you how I can hold up with the worst year in 2020.
I'm an optimistic type of person. You know, I try to think the positive side of things and see. So I can't think like that.
Yeah.
I refuse to think like that because that type of thinking would drive me insane.
Yeah, I feel like Trump could try to drag us into a war and say, all right, I'm out. I'm going to head out. Like, I don't know. So,
War with China?
the second question. Do you think a vaccine will change anything?
I do. For most people, it will. Not for me. I ain't with that whole vaccine stuff. I don't trust it. But I think it will for a lot of people because once the vaccine is considered safe and effective,
Yeah.
they'll feel more comfortable living what is now considered a normal life,
Yeah.
whatever that is. So I think that will help,
Yeah.
right? But I don't know. It's like it's a new norm we got.
Yeah.
Everything has changed. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But that, I
A
think definitely
cashier
will
touched
help.
my hand the other day, and I almost wanted to assault her. I don't hit women, full disclosure.
Touched your hand.
You know, it was a money exchange, but it just felt like it was some extra little on the cool hand side shit. And I was just like, yo, why she had to touch me for?
Maybe
Like,
she trying to get you inside.
no.
yo.
But it's just like, that's one of the side effects of 2020. You know what I'm saying? How weird it is and stuff like that. So last question. Has mask wearing really made your life that different?
Made my what?
Has mask wearing really made your life that different?
Not really. Only difference is sometimes I get frustrated when I got to run back to the car because I forgot my mask.
I was walking into the dollar store to get a screwdriver, and then I was like, shit, I left my mask. I had to walk back into the mask.
Yeah, it's hard to just run into some place now.
Yeah.
Where I could just like, damn, gotta get the mask. But ultimately, no. I mean, those people who I don't want to wear a mask. You can't tell me that. What?
Yeah.
Something as simple as that. It's not like you got to put on a hazmat suit. You got to wear a mask. Cover your mouth.
The only thing that the mask has made me realize how inconsiderate we are as a people. Right? Because it's just like, yo, it's just a couple of minutes, a lot of times of discomfort. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine.
I do get disgusted, though, when I'm on the street because I don't wear my mask, honestly, when I'm on the street. Sometimes I do. I have to when I'm at work and I'm working outside on the street. But if I'm just walking down the street or going somewhere, I'm outside. I don't need to wear my mask all the time. If I go into an establishment, I'll put it on.
Yeah.
But there's people who expect you to wear it all the time. Hey, where's your mask? Shut the fuck up.
See, I'm weird.
You know?
In here, I don't wear my mask because it's part of the show. When I go into like a personal, home that I go to all the time, like I only go to two places all the time: my house, my sister's house. Those are the only two places I go consistently. But I get it. When I'm out, I'm not gonna shame you. I only feel you need to wear a mask if you come in within someone's personal space, kind of stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? In establishment, obviously, when you're in the store, you do the close thing, you got to wear a mask and stuff like that. But at the same time, I also feel like, yo, it kills me when people are just coughing straight up, like not covering their mouth and stuff like that. Like, yo, I don't know. This mask thing, it's inconvenient, but at the same time, it's saving lives. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, especially when you're only wearing masks for a couple minutes at a time, it's just like, yo, how much of an inconvenience is it? You know what I'm saying? And that's why people are doing these sneak parties and all this stuff like that. And then viruses.
They're ruining my favorite holiday with this shit.
Thanksgiving or Christmas?
Thanksgiving. No, Thanksgiving. They talking about, they don't want people getting together. And everybody out there, just go get tested. I've been tested twice. Tell your family members, whoever's going to be around you for Thanksgiving, just go get tested. Go get tested.
It's easier in
and
New York
then-
than other places. In Jersey, I still need a prescription to get tested.
Really?
New York, it feel like, yo, you could go to a
go to
bodega and, yo,
every-
Poppy, give me a test real quick.
The rapid test, and it's free. I went to City MD. You gonna have to wait on the line for a while.
Yeah.
And my car got towed that same night. It sucked.
Damn.
But anyway, I got tested. My kids got tested. Everybody was negative. Go get tested.
God bless.
You know what I'm saying? And then you can be around who you want to be around.
Mm.
Some people out there, I had a discussion with one of my homeboys. They want to talk all this quarantine stuff, da-da-da-da, but they won't get tested. They don't get tested one time. I'm like, bro, you telling me all this nonsense?
That's like the dudes who be like, yo, I don't got nothing. Like,
Yeah,
when was the last
have
time you got tested? Shit, I ain't trying to find out.
Just
That's why
go
you
get
ain't got
tested.
nothing. You know what I'm
So
saying?
I'm just quarantined. I'm gonna drink water.
Yeah.
Nah, bro, go get tested.
Yeah. Well, that's the end of the show, man. It was another good show. You know, happy Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving next week to everybody. Thanks for everybody who's been supporting us, you know.
Yeah,
We're going to have another show next month, you know, to rock out the end of the year. But, yo, y'all be safe, man. It's a blessing that, you know, Trump is allegedly will get out of here and stuff like that. But, like, yo, if we want 2021 to be great, we got to make it great. We got to carry ourselves that way. You know what I'm saying? You got any shout-outs?
yeah. Shout out to all our fans as always. All those that showing us love and supporting us. Keep doing that. We're gonna keep trying to provide y'all with great entertainment. Shout out to MJ Rose _creations, who was supposed to be a guest today, but we'll have her at a later date. MJ Rose _creations is her IG. If you got any pastries that you want, you throwing a party, think the holidays are here, you need some cakes, cupcakes, whatever, even some drinks, she got that for you. So shout out her.
Yo, I want to shout out everybody who voted this month, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We did what we had to do. Shout out to all the red states that turned blue for
Yeah.
the right reasons. You know what I'm saying? I don't even hate on someone if they're Republican and stuff like that. But if you feel racism is a caveat that you okay with, that's when I have a problem. Like, I'm okay if we had different perspectives. You know what I'm saying? But if you think racism is cool, or sexism, or being a misogynist person is just like, well, it's okay. Boys will be boys. Nah, man. It's a new day and age. We got to be better. But that's it. We out. Peace.